Your twin flame is going to show you how to love yourself through your own eyes. Your soulmate is going to teach you how to love yourself through another person's eyes. And a karmic relationship is going to teach you what love is not. That is the difference between the three relationships.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Corner podcast, where we dive deep into spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical truths that shape our lives and our world. I'm your host, Ariana Gutierrez, and in today's episode, yes, it's a special one, we're diving into the many myths surrounding the twin flame concept. And I know a lot of people who have been following me for years are going to be surprised at my take on twin flames today, now in 2024. And I came into the whole twin flame dynamic stuff back in 2019. And I want to discuss how this idea can be more damaging than healing, and also uncover some truths behind the cult-like phenomena that it has become. So join me as we separate fact from fiction and offer a more balanced perspective on the twin flame journey. Let's get started. The Real Talk Corner. We back. We in the building. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fighting my way through the darkness where the wicked don't rest. Conscious aware, truth I dare, shield tied to my chest. My tenacity can put these motherfuckers to the test. High priestess of fire, alchemistic desire. I say manifesting shit, even when I am tired. You can call me amazing by the bricks I've been laying, but you'll never call me lazy, cause my vibes are devastating. In the league of my own, spitting real talk energy. I know a little something about a thing called synergy. This is already throw with sending masses awakening. Listen up, cause we about to set your mind, body, and soul free. We are back again. And today, yes, we are talking about twin flames. I'm actually going to show you guys, for those of you who are on YouTube, are going to be able to see it. Those of you over there on Spotify, Apple, and iHeart, you guys will hear it, okay? A couple of different things I want to play for you guys, and we're going to dive into the many sections of the twin flame phenomena, which is now like a cult, okay? I want to touch a couple things of where even myself coming into spirituality, the twin flame dynamic was very huge and it was very pushed. It was almost as if there was this other agenda for the twin flame whole dynamic, this ultimate soulmate, this divine masculine and divine feminine coming together, and it sounded really good. For someone who, like myself and the many other people who go to spirituality, normally it's because we don't fit into religion, right? Don't fit into the boxes of religion. So we're trying to find our place. And then you go into spirituality, and unfortunately, spirituality has a bunch of different things going on. And some people are practicing several different religions, several different cultural practices, and putting them all together, throwing them all together, and creating their whatever spiritual dynamic they want to. So when you come into this, you find people that you respect their opinion. You believe what they say. You have a lot of people, especially tarot readers, psychics, that use the twin flame term, that say they can see it, they can feel it. I can tell you, I thought that too. My ego did, okay? And this is how you know when people have ego. We all have ego, but this is when you know somebody is spiritually working from the ego, okay? We can pick up on things, because I'm very gifted. Let me brush my shoulder, okay? I'm gifted. I can pick up on past life. I can pick up on karma. I can pick up on real strong connections versus your average connection. One of the things, though, learning, and I think I went through the path of learning and being submerged in it so I could understand the obsessive, compulsive, craziness to the twin flame dynamic and then help people get away from the twin flame dynamic because of how widely spread it is and how overly obsessed everybody is to have a damn twin flame. And, it comes from this make-believe part. There's only one person for you, only one soulmate. And we don't even have the correct pieces to understand that. When we say soulmate, everybody that comes into our life that we meet that stays, whether it's a couple months, that has an impact on our life, is a soulmate. Your dog can be a soulmate. Your child is a soulmate. Your parents are soulmates. Your friends are soulmates. So when we're looking at this, we have to learn these terms without just running into. I thank my team for constantly pushing me. When I say my team, I'm talking about my spiritual team, constantly pushing me to search for answers. If I would have got all the answers in the beginning, because if anyone who's in it knows how spiritual teams talk to you, I don't care if it's angels, higher self guides, they don't give you all the answers. You literally have to go through things. But I love the way that they always push me to seek more information. So one of the things I noticed is while I was going through my part of me and someone who I felt was my twin flame at the time, and I've only had one person that I felt was twin flame. Y'all, I'm not over here like, are you my twin flame? Are you my twin flame? And 20 people was my fucking twin flame. Only one person. And we'll kind of talk about that again, because some people are so obsessed with twin flame that everyone they deal with is their twin flame. They're so convinced, and then when it doesn't work out, they're no longer their twin flame. Okay. So I was going through my own thing, and I was, I started as a tarot reader. So as a tarot reader, I'd be answering questions and people, and this was like a common thing. And I was like, what is this twin flame stuff? I had to go in and search. When you go search on Google, you're going to come up with all the bullshit, all of the cult-like bullshit to get you to reel you in. And it's just like if you went into religion and they give you the dogma and doctrine of religion. Twin flames is like that, okay? Because they tell you it's a runner and chaser. This person has to run from you. You have to chase, and they got to do it. And then you guys got to go heal. And then once you heal, you come back together. We miss the points of what we're supposed to learn in this life, and we miss the genuine aspects of life by getting stuck in this twin flame shit. And then you hear a lot of people, especially the spiritual tarot readers and psychics, use terms like karmic. Your DM is with the karmic. And what I noticed was the more and more people about the twin flame stuff kept coming to me for readings, the more and more people I saw that were okay to justify what they were doing by using the term twin flame. The person would be married. The person would have kids. And they would be so bent that that's their twin flame, that they're just waiting for their relationship to fall. And it would be like, but this person has children. This person has a home. I don't give a shit about what you think about twin flames and what you think this person is. They chose this person. Those kids aren't little karmic kids. The thing about it is we have karma with everyone. Yes, we can have karma with children. We also can have karma with our parents. We can have karma with our friends. There's different levels of karma, but karma does not mean bad. I want you guys to understand karma doesn't mean bad. Karma just means lessons, and some lessons you cannot escape in this life. Karma, the term karma comes from Hinduism. So if you are practicing karma, if you're using the word karma, using the term karma, then you need to go and brush up and learn parts and pieces. And I wouldn't even say parts of pieces. I would say go really start looking up Hinduism, because Hinduism is where karma comes from. You don't have karma in a lot of other religions. You don't. And Hinduism is one of the oldest religions. Okay. So If you're running around with this whole karma idea, you need to understand what you're talking about, because karma does not mean bad. It just means lessons in this life, lessons that we're supposed to have, lessons that we need to go through. These lessons can come through, again, parents, friends, children. Not everybody has karma with their children. Like, I don't have karma with my daughter. We don't have any karma, but shit, I've had karma with my mom. I've had karma with other people. Shit, my baby daddy, I had karma with him. But that didn't make him a karmic. It just meant that we had karma. And then in this space, we needed to understand that we were never going to be in this space. We were never going to make those decisions to be. It was always going to play out, because me and him were two different people. It was one thing when I was a kid, and then when I started getting older, we grew apart. We were not the same. And so I think this fairy tale idea that, yes, there's just one person you're going to fall madly in love with and be together forever, in this Romeo and Juliet bullshit, it's false, because people can be in your life for 10 years, but then it may be over. That might be it. And that wasn't a karmic. That time that you spent with that person, what did you take from it? What did you learn from it? What did you get out of it? And that's what you should be focusing on. Not, oh, we didn't make it, so that wasn't my twin flame. Now I got to go find my twin flame. You take so much beauty away from your relationships in the present moment by chasing the twin flame dynamic. So I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because I don't have those answers. I can't tell you that twin flame is not a real thing, but I can tell you I don't believe in it the same way. I can tell you from what I've come across, the information from higher realms, even in past life regressions, where I myself and a couple of other people who were using the word twin flame dynamic, right? And asking higher level energy about twin flames, they never say, yes, that's your twin flame. They never answer like that. Not one person's higher self has been like, yep, that's your twin flame. Yes, and answer that when they ask who the person is. You know what the higher self says? You know who this person is. That's what they say. That's the answer. Even myself, I got that answer. Did that answer my question? No, it fucking didn't. You know why? Because I needed to take the time to really understand what I was feeling, what I was going through, and what this person was bringing to me and what they represented. And I wasn't going to understand that until I had went through the time and space to go through what I went through. And then in 2022, the harsh reality hit that not only was this is not my twin flame, we're not going to be together at the end of the happy rainbow when we heal every fucking thing and we get to the other side, but more than likely, most of you are dealing with shadow, what we call shadow twins. And again, to me, I don't even believe in the twin concept. And I'm going to tell you guys why at the end. I'll tell you why. But it came to understanding that he was the dark mirror for me, not the light. And when we think of twin flames, we're thinking of it as this is supposed to be this divine energy. You guys know most people I would come across, they were getting beat by their so-called twin flames. The person would block them. The person would treat them like shit. And then it was just like, how is this? How would you think this is a twin flame? How would you think this is a divine masculine? A divine masculine doesn't act like that. A divine masculine is not beating the shit out of you because they're taking their anger out on you. You're not the punching bag. Nothing in this life. There are no rules that say your twin is going to come and they're going to take all their shit out on you and you have to accept it and you have to go through it. Hell no. That's not, no. I remember, and I channel, you guys, I do channel from time to time. I remember channeling a message and a lot of people didn't want to hear it because I specifically heard there is no runner chaser. That's made up and it's not real. And it was the first time that I had actually got some concrete message from the higher realms. And I was like, oh shit. And the thing is, that answer that came through to the core of me, I knew it. To the core of me, I understood, because why? Why would we need a runner chaser aspect in this dynamic? Why would I need to chase this person? Why would they run from me? What is it teaching me? Why would this person be afraid of love? And if they are afraid of love, why would I need to stay here and keep trying to force it? when all we talk about is not forcing things in our life. So you see how this is a lot of contradictions in this twin flame dynamic? And you could call anybody a twin flame. Just because you call them a twin flame doesn't make them a twin flame. You know how many people are like, can I get the energy on my twin flame? Yeah, sure. They're going to give me the energy of the person you're talking to or talking about, but that doesn't mean that you're twin flame. And not one higher level energy has ever said twin flames. Now, there's a lot of people who have created stories about Jesus and Mary Magdalene, even the archangels saying that they have twin flames. I have not confirmed any of that. So I cannot tell you that that is true or not. Were Jesus and Mary Magdalene had a special bond? Yes. Did make him twin flames. Not everybody needs to be Jesus and Mary Magdalene and fucking heal the world. Most of you guys are chasing your twins anyway. You're not even trying to heal the world. But that's a whole nother piece to this. What I want to do real quick is I want to show you guys something that I came across when I was doing some research. And this was a few years ago. So I want to say maybe this was the end of 2021 or maybe beginning of 2022. Because the beginning of 2022, I started getting some crazy downloads and crazy pushes. And I was just like, man, this twin flame shit is about to hit a lot of people in some not so nice ways. And I knew it was coming. I felt it. I got the messages. But you always think you're not part of it. No, I'm not part of it. It's not me. Me and my twin will be good one day. So I came across this now this is like what, late 80s, 90s, where this is a lady who's a twin flame prophet. She called herself a prophet. And now I want you guys to understand there's always a piece of where something comes from. You guys hear somebody say twin flame and you just run with it. And I want you to know, I too listened and believed people who I thought were seasoned in spirituality. I thought that they knew what they were talking about. I thought that they had information until I kept doing my own search. And it was just like, oh no, this is not what they're talking about. This is actually different. So again, you always want, it's the same thing I look at people who are in Christianity and they preach about Jesus. Yet Christianity was a thing way before Jesus came into the picture. And it's kind of that thing of, you believe this text, you believe what they're saying, not to say all of it's a lie, but you believe what they're saying. You believe that Jesus died for your sins. You believe his name is Jesus, even though he's come from Hebrew and he comes from where they didn't speak English, right? They didn't speak Spanish over there either. So how is his name Jesus? J is not even a letter in the Hebrew language. So it's these things that are like common sense to me that would stand out. So as I'm going through the twin flame dynamic, or what I perceive as it, there are a lot of these things that stand out to me as where does it come from? Who said, who brought this information to us? And I happened to come across this and I was like, interesting that there's a whole video on this lady of the prophet, which is like a church. So here we go with a church-like setting of people talking about a dogma, people talking about this twin flame dynamic and what it is. And you guys be the judge on if this is some cult shit, some religious-based shit that has you in a fear-based dynamic going back and forth, all obsessed, overly going, crying, and all this other crazy shit to keep you more fucking confused in your life versus actually being happy and vibrant and flowing in life. How are you flowing in life if you're crying over your twin flame every day? How are you living the best days right now, present day, right now? You're happy, you're thriving, you're going after your dreams. If all you can do is you're obsessing over your damn twin flame, that's a mental thing. That's not a spiritual thing. And a lot of you guys ain't gonna like it, but it's the truth. It's a mental thing. Your mind and your ego are telling you that, not your spirit. Your spirit is telling you to leave that person alone and keep moving. Some of these people are trying to leave people that are loving them right now. Right now in your face, you got someone trying to love you and you're still trying to go back to someone who has blocked you, someone who has treated you like shit, someone who hits you, all because you think or you want to believe this is your twin, you're supposed to be together. Y'all gonna learn today. If you want to learn.
Says that Eve was taken from the rib of Adam. That is a description of this spiritual process in the heart of God. What this means is that uniquely there is an electronic blueprint and a white fire core, and out of that blueprint there are two beings, one carrying the minus charge of it, one carrying the plus. No two beings have ever been created aside from these two having that identical electronic blueprint. This is why the beloved is absolutely unique. When we descended through the great spheres of the causal body, these twin causal bodies, we journeyed through them and we went through the concentric spheres of light, and each of these color bands represents another vibration and another plane of heaven, which corresponds to the 7 chakras in your temple. As we develop the chakras, we draw forth the light of that sphere. As we give energy to that sphere in good words and good works, we have treasure built in heaven and we draw upon it, and we can develop a momentum.
I love how people just use words. You just use words and it sounds so convincing. You just use words that people aren't going to know. Man, it sounds convincing, right? So that the black and white circle, the yin and the yang, once again is coming from an Asian concept, right? Yin and yang. And I love, this is the part that I love, because if you sit and really think about where these things come from, you're going to be like, wait a minute. We're over here in the USA using yin and yang, and it's an Asian concept, comes from years and years of their culture. I'm not Asian, okay? I don't think she's Asian. So we're using this, and we're bringing it in, and now we've structured it so it could fit the narrative that we want it to fit. And I want you guys to understand this. Again, you can sit and be like, yeah, I have this other soul. But what I used to explain to people, even in the beginning of the twin flame dynamic, I always used to explain to people the connection with your person is like the connection if you've ever had a kid. The bond is very strong. It's like you can feel that. But you don't need a twin flame to feel that. You can feel that with anyone that you're really, really connected to. You'd be able to feel, you'd be able to sense them. You know when something's off. You know when you get that feeling, you call them, they were thinking about you. That's not just this whole twin flame. That's everyone that you are connected to. Why? Because we're all connected as one. We'll get into that a little bit more. But I want you guys to see this.
Of light and power and creative action in that particular corresponding chakra. You and your twin flame journey.
Again, she's talking about chakras. The chakras are also, that's a Hindu practice. Now, again, this is where my problem was as I'm going through and learning, because when I came into spirituality, I didn't know shit in spirituality when I came in. I was like a baby learning. And those things stood out to me, is how are we mixing all of these different religions and practices together, right? You want to talk about Jesus, talk about God in heaven, which we're going to bring yin and yang into it, chakras. And it's like, what the hell are we doing? We just throwing everybody's practices in. And this is why I say everyone's religion has truth, and it also has man-made lies. Now, the whole thing about Adam and Eve, I don't believe that concept. You can believe it if you want to. Do I feel like we were created for each other as man and woman? Yes, definitely. I do feel that. I feel like we were created for each other. And that's why the penis it's like a fucking Lego. It's like, the shapes, a little toy with the shapes. You put the circle and the square and the fucking triangle. The vagina and the penis, that is exactly like that, right? So I do feel like we definitely were created for each other. And that's no shade against anybody. My beliefs is my beliefs. Y'all do what y'all want to do. So it's funny to me how we can sit and we can preach this stuff. You see how she looks, her hairstyle. This ain't from, this is like late 80s because she got shoulder pads. It might be like early 90s. But this is that cultist bullshit that people took and they started promoting it into all of the spirituality. And let me tell you, your ego can dilute your messages. If you don't stay, you have to be this person who can separate yourself and what you want from clearly channeling and getting messages from any divine energy. You also have to be in a high level vibration. Most people that are telling other people about twin flames and this, they're in a low vibration. So how is somebody in a low vibration connecting to higher vibe energy and giving you messages? There's low level energies that can give them that same information. And it's not all about demons. You guys, stop it with the whole fucking demon shit. There's more than that when we talk about low vibrational energy. So we have to be careful when we're just diving into this stuff and we're getting sucked into this cult-like shit, because it is cult-like shit.
Journeying through those spheres in the beginning actually made a free will decision as to which one of those 7 spheres you would amplify, serve upon, accelerate in, and therefore when you went out into the matter universe, give that as a gift on the altar of the evolutions that you would be serving. If we had never left the planes of perfection, we should have embodied for 14,000 years, 7 times. 1 body for each 2,000 year cycle. We should have fulfilled the manifestation of our great causal body in the matter universe, endowed the matter cosmos with our spirit consciousness, and ascended back to the plane of spirit, individually in God. This world of spirit is teeming with life and activity. It is not some kind of a misty nirvana. It is a plane of cosmic being and consciousness. Twin flames are destined, once they complete their evolution, to hold the flame of the Father, Mother, God for systems of worlds, for planetary homes, for stars and cycles. In fact, all that we see of the matter cosmos that is in manifestation is endowed and sponsored by twin flames who have gone before us, who long ago reached the attainment of full God realization, have built upon it, some who never went out and descended into the knowledge of good and evil in a relative sense. So those of you who are here,
she got amethyst in the back. She got all her jewelry on. So again, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just want you guys to kind of see that. But again, this is what we're talking about of just pay attention, right? Pay attention, because you can be sitting here and you think that you've come across this information that explains what you're going through. And it's going to give you temporary explanation. It's going to give you temporary, kind of like temporary help or temporary knowledge. And you're going to think, oh my God, this makes sense, right? Because why I can't get rid of this person, or why can't I get this person off my mind? And the biggest thing I tell people is when anyone is coming back into your mind and you're getting this, what it feels like, this pull back to them, it's because you're not done with the lesson. And a lot of people will mistake that for, it's got to be my twin flame. Why am I getting pulled back to this person? Because you still need to learn the lesson. I'm going to read a couple of these. There's a twin flame group on Facebook. And I remember being in this group, and I'm still in there. I see the messages all the time, and I try to help people as much as I can, because some of these messages get very, very ugly, okay? I want to read some of these. They're always anonymous, and just kind of show you guys a little bit of what people ask in this group and what they say. And I want to unpack a couple of these just to kind of talk about it. So this person asks, I could use some advice. I'm currently with a soulmate, and we're talking about marriage, but he told me he can't marry me unless I agree to cutting off all future potential communication with my twin and his kids, whom I love more than anything. His reasoning makes sense to me, as he's been in my life for 10 years, and I used to come to him crying about all the awful things my twin did to me. But this was before I knew he was my twin, understood the dynamic. I've tried to explain to my soulmate that the twin is just me, but of course I can't expect an outsider to understand this journey. He doesn't believe that twin flames are real. If I cut off all communication from my twin for the rest of my life, what does this mean for my journey? Besides breaking my heart, does it have any long-term consequences? So, let's kind of unpack a couple things here. In the first lines where she says, I'm currently with my soulmate. Ooh, that's your person. That's your person. You're with your person right now. The person that is right in front of you, fucking loving you guys. You're missing it right in front of you. You're missing receiving love because you have this idea of what you're chasing. Do you see how crazy that is? It is. It's coming to this place of you've got blessings in front of you, but you'd rather go chase something that's never going to happen. They're talking about marriage. This person wants to marry you right now. Fuck all that twin flame shit. This person wants to marry you right now. But you want to marry the twin flame, and you are bent on you and this person want to come back together one day. That's the only reason why you want to keep contact with this person. Otherwise, you will let it go. You will let it go, and you will go about your business. And I just, even the point of this person thinks there's some type of consequence. So you can see how manipulative this twin flame ideology is to people where they're in fear of letting go of their twin. There's a fear of letting go. I had that too, of what would happen if I let go completely. What does that mean? So, again, thinking that a person is just you in another body sounds good. But I want you guys to know something. We are all each other in other bodies. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, what? And I'm going to show you guys something towards the end of this called the egg theory. And I want you to go search it up. And of course, it's a theory. Egg theory, right? It says theory because it's not proven. None of this shit we can prove right now. You can't prove it until you get to the other side and you talk to the big dogs, right? But we have a lot of theories of what this is. And so this is a theory. But I believe it. I believe the theory that we are all interconnected. We are all one. That one source God energy that we keep talking about. We are all pieces of that. We are all parts of that. There is no such thing as you and this person, same soul, by yourself. That doesn't exist. We are all together connected. Can you be connected with certain people? Oh, of course. Can you go through many lives with certain people? Definitely. Can you form bonds with certain people? Yeah. Me and my daughter, we've had several lives together. I mean, probably like over 10. I've been her mom in pretty much all of them. Me and her, we have a crazy love for each other, and I've always come to be a support for her, and she's always come to be a support for me. And we've chosen that, right? We've chosen to come back and be there for each other. But that doesn't mean that there's nobody else who has those bonds with us. We have other bonds with other people, and we do multiple lives. So to just deem everybody as karmics or soulmates, lower level soulmates, and this one person who treats you like shit, right? This is the common denominator about this twin flame. You hear someone talk about twin flame is always treating them like shit. The twin flame is always blocking them, telling them that they're worthless, B-mans, or some crazy shit. It's never simple. So if the twin flame is doing all this, and this is the person you believe is a divine counterpart, and you say this person is mirroring you, then what does it say about your own soul? Because you can only mirror from your soul. The other part about that is everybody is a mirror in our life, not just the twin flame. I see a lot of people have, and even I used to kind of try to figure this out in my path, but you get to see that everybody is a mirror. When I meet someone, I'm not meeting this person for no reason. I'm not meeting them randomly. I've called them in for some purpose, and it's up to me to discern. Go look that word up. Discern what this person is here for. Are they here for healing? Do they need conversation? Do they need me to hold space for them? Are we going to be close? Is this romantic? Is this purely casual? Or is this just, I'm going to see you now, talk to you, never see you again. You just need to be in this moment. That's where discernment comes into it. But everyone who comes to me is mirroring something from within me. This is why we talk about grace and we talk about patience. Because when someone is coming to you and you want to lose your patience with them, you'll be losing patience with yourself. That's the mirror effect. When people in a twin flame dynamic is like, well, this person's mean and I'm not a mean person, and why am I called with this person? It's like, no, you're not called to this person because of that. Everyone is going to mirror something. So being that you're a mirror to them, something within you is triggering that person. Doesn't mean you deserve to have somebody put their hands on you. Hell no. Leave. Okay? So, this is why I stopped reading for twin flames, and this is why I stopped doing a lot of stuff when it came to readings and stuff, because I just was like, it's too much. The obsessive compulsion, the dissing people that were loving them in the moment. Some people had happy homes. They were breaking their homes to go be with these twin flames. And I get the connections are phenomenal, and I get that they're strong, but the person normally treats that person, or they diss them, or they block them, or they stop talking to them. And it leaves the person with all of these questions and whys. And normally when someone has stopped talking to you, you just got to take that as they don't want to talk to you. You can't sit here and, I feel them and I feel that they want me. Maybe. And I used to go through this doing readings for people, and they'd be like, just because someone thinks about you doesn't mean they're going to pick up the phone and call you. The bad part about that is when you're doing tarot for people, and people are getting tarot readings, yeah, you could look into this person's energy. You could see what they feel. And yeah, they might still love you. They might have feelings for you, right? But that doesn't mean that they're going to pick up the phone and come back to you. So you know what that does, knowing that someone cares about you but also doesn't want you? Fucks up your mind. Fucks up your worth. Because then you start sitting in the shit. What's wrong with me? Oh, I got more healing to do. Do you know how much money is in healing? So the more shit that's wrong with you, the more money your spiritual advisors or whoever the fuck you're working with makes money on you. Now, I'm not going to say that, I'm a spiritual advisor also, right? I do QHHT, but I do a lot of things. But my goal is always to get you guys past this to where you don't need to come to me. Okay? That's the whole point. I don't want you to be sitting here talking to me for years and years and years about shit. I don't want you to sit here and ruin your life off this stuff. I want you to come to me when you need me. You want me to look at an opportunity? Sure. You want me to look at some energy? Sure. You want me to, sure, but not this. So no, there's no consequences. The person that you think is your twin flame, it's not your twin flame. It's someone who is showing you a lesson. And the sooner you learn the lesson, the sooner that person will become a non-factor. When I truly realized, and I don't want to say realized, when I truly allowed myself to take in the truth of the person I thought was my twin, I realized the common theme was my worth. My worth, because I was the chaser. Constantly chasing. Constantly reaching out, constantly being there, always being available. And I realized that I created this dynamic, right? And one of the biggest things we always ask us females, we always say, if this person doesn't want us, why do they keep coming back? Anyone is going to keep coming back if you allow them. This is where boundaries come into it. This is what discernment comes into it. This is what understanding because you know not to let them back. You have that feeling like, I shouldn't even answer this damn phone, but you do it anyway. Why? Because your ego. You get a kick off of it. This person must want me. Yeah, they might need you in this moment. Then they're going to go ghost again. It's not your person. Let me tell you, a true divine counterpart and I don't even use the term twin flames no more. I do look at things as divine counterparts, because I do believe you have specific people that you will be in a romantic relationship with, that you will have children with. I do believe in that. So true divine counterpart, it's not going to hurt you. Not physically, not mentally, not emotionally. This person would never want to see you hurt. This person is never going to want to see you struggle. This person is not going to want to see you cry. And so the person probably that you're not paying attention to, because you're over here paying attention to someone who is full of karma, full of lessons, full of red flags, you'd rather look over there than the person right in front of you that would be good to you, that would be loving. Please explain that. All right. Although I didn't go through that part, because if I would have had someone come into my life that was loving and kind, twin flame would have been left in the dust anyway. But my common denominator with those situations was my worth and what I was going to put up with, because even the couple people in between him that came my way, or even the conversations I had, because I had conversations and it was like they're all kind of the same thing. And that they all kind of looked like him. And it was just like, okay, so this lesson is going to keep coming, just in different people if I don't figure it out. And so I was like, you know what? I need to sit and figure out what's the common theme here. And it all went back to my worth. My worth. What am I worth in this situation? What do I deserve? Do I deserve somebody who can't make time for me? Do I deserve somebody who doesn't know how to call me? Do I deserve someone who doesn't care about my well-being? And I was like, wait a minute. I deserve better than that. So no, we're not okay with this. No, I'm not going to be dealing with the bullshit. No, I'm not going to deal with the runner chaser bullshit. You're not. You're not. Bye. When I actually really put forth where I truly stepped into my power to say I deserve better, and I'm not going to allow my twin back in my life. And it was very hard to do because I believed that we were twin flames. So it was hard to cut, because it was like a fear of, if I cut this for sure now, what will happen? That fear kicked in, like, but what if, because what if it changes? Well, blah, 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 blah. You have all those what ifs. But the deeper part, my soul, my higher self was like, no, it's not your person. And I got told from my higher self before I couldn't save him. I couldn't heal him. But we all get this in our head that we can do something. We can help. We can save. We can heal. And you can't heal anybody. You can guide people. You can inspire people, but you can't heal them. So when he decided to do some dumb shit and still go play games, when I finally said, nope, no more, and I moved away, up and moved away. And it was a crazy, crazy moment. Mentally, I had to go through some things, because I wasn't just packing up and kind of leaving him. I was packing up and leaving my business behind and leaving my whole life behind. And I was coming into this territory of unknown. And that's one of the biggest things. You guys are coming in here to be awakened. It's not about your twin. This whole twin flame thing is not about them. It's not about that. It's about you. And where are you going to go? And the most biggest thing about it is, the reason you're there, the reason you've come into this space, is because you need to change your whole fucking life. Your whole life needs to transform. And you're not going to understand that because you're too busy chasing this fucking person. All right, let's go to the next one. This person says, Friday night, my DM and I had sex. There was zero electricity. Saturday night, we did it again, and it was pure fire. Is it possible that we were off vibrationally, and the second night we were on the same level again? I want to talk about this because this is one of the things that gets misinterpreted. Supposedly, people say when twin flames come together, sex is crazy. I feel like sexual chemistry is a case-by-case basis. I don't feel that you're going to get the same chemistry with every person. The problem with us as who we are today as a society, we are dating multiple people. And we're not allowing ourselves to really connect. Who am I connected to? Who am I feeling that pull to for whatever reason? If we allowed ourselves to be pulled to the people we were connected to, sex would be fire. We wouldn't have to think about it. So if you have, to me, this is normal sex. One time it could be like, damn, that was crazy. And another time it could be like, that was whatever. You know, we had a busy day, we're tired. Shit, the kids got on our nerves, whatever happened. It's regular sex. The problem with this is going too far into looking into every little thing. Because, yeah, it could be different. Just like I felt in my experience that I was like, man, I haven't been with someone that I connect with in that way sexually. So it stood out with him. And I'm not saying that I haven't been with anybody else, but I don't know what that would be like when I do let somebody in my life next, what that would feel like. So I don't have nothing to go on, but I can tell you that these are little things that you're not going to be able to understand or know to say, yes, this is a twin flame because the sex was bomb. Normally it is the connection, and we have different types of connections. When you're in alignment with someone, things are flowing. When you're not in alignment with someone, things aren't flowing, but it normally doesn't have anything to do with your sexual experience. So, of course, I can't tell you that that's a yes or no for those of you who may be thinking about that. Do they say that the sex is great and bomb with your person? I think anyone that you love and really care for, the sex is going to be crazy, okay? And I think anyone watching this who has a partner, not this twin flame shit, and drop a comment and say, like, yes, your sex is going to be amazing with someone that you're truly into, you're truly engaged with, right? And you truly yearn for, I think the sex is going to be better. Anyway, when you're not in alignment with someone, things aren't flowing, but it normally doesn't have anything to do with your sexual experience. So, of course, I can't tell you that that's a yes or no for those of you who may be thinking about that. Do they say that the sex is great and bomb with your person? I think anyone that you love and really care for, the sex is going to be crazy, okay? And I think anyone watching this who has a partner, not this twin flame shit, and drop a comment and say, like, yes, your sex is going to be amazing with someone that you're truly into, you're truly engaged with, right? And you truly yearn for, I think the sex is going to be better. Anyway, this next person says, I'm really struggling. We were best friends for nearly 5 years. He was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I let him go last night. He started dating other women. Again, how is he the best thing ever if he's dating other women? Some of you guys need to really look at your idea of what the best thing in the world is. Dating other women, and even though he loves me and would do anything for me except be with you. Am I reading that right? He loves me and would do anything for me. He doesn't want a relationship with me. I can't bring myself to be a third-party wheel, so I said goodbye. He's as heartbroken as I am. No, he's not. He's in his new relationship and doing fine. I really was in a good place and thought I was fine, but I'm not. You're not, because you have to realize this isn't your person, and you're trying to put this twin flame name on something that it just isn't. You don't do it for this person. You know, this is probably one of the biggest things I've seen in this so-called twin flame dynamic shit of people who someone is just not that into you, but they will come fuck with you from time to time when they're bored. In between whoever they're fucking with, this person disappears for a month, they pop back up. Oh yeah, they're single again. And this person has their own commitment bullshit of why they're not in a commitment. They probably fucked that person over, but now they're back with you. Oh, I love you. And so you have to kind of look at that. If the guy I thought that was my twin would have ever told me he was dating and seeing other people, I wouldn't have continued with him. There's a lot of things that he kept secret and was not honest with me about, because if he was, I would have been able to be like, no. And this is the thing with a lot of you are sitting here and dealing with this shit like this is what you're supposed to go through. This person is showing you are not it. You've had this person 5 years in your life and they ain't picked you yet. You're not it. You're not what they want. The faster you come to terms with that is and release it and open up for someone who wants you, you're going to attract people who will receive you, not people who are running from you. But you're so busy trying to show I'm a good person and I'm a divine feminine. Love me, love me, love me. All right. This next person says, hey, all new to this twin flame journey. I'm the chaser and we're going through separation. It is not a thing. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys, the runner chaser is not a real concept. It's made up. It's a confusion tactic. It's a division tactic. Sit with it. I want you to sit with it. Don't believe what I'm saying. Sit in meditation. Sit and ask your higher self to confirm what I'm saying. I guarantee your higher selves are going to tell you it's not a real thing, but you're too busy believing the bullshit out here. We're going through separation, and this is by far the hardest thing I've ever been through. He was so very cold to me when he left and then blocked me. But I need to heal and let him go, but I don't even know how. It's been a month and he's still on my mind. Constantly, some days are better than others. I must say, keeping busy seems to help. When a person blocks you, that's it. Let it go. You know, I remember, I think it was 2021. And in 2021 is when I really saw how bad this twin flame stuff was hitting people, where there were people who were coming to me that were blocked. People had blocked them on social media, blocked them on their phone, blocked them everywhere. And they were still trying to go to other people to find out about that person. They were so obsessed about what is that person doing, believing that this person is going to come to them at some point. When a person blocks you, leave them alone. You know how stalkerish that comes down to? You know how you turn into the stalker. You're stalking this person who has told you they do not want you in their life. They blocked you. Move on. I had people, they were having their friends go on the page of the person, record shit, send it to them so they can see what the person's doing. No, that's obsessive. All that is low vibrational. None of that is high vibration. You can't sit here and say, I'm a divine feminine, but you creeping and fucking stalking and rolling around this person's house and doing all this crazy shit. No, that doesn't make you a higher level being. Higher level minds and vibration comes when you let go. Letting go is one of the biggest lessons you will learn in any spiritual fashion. You cannot hold on to anything. And so the twin flame dynamic has to go, has to die. When I went through, in 2022 was when I went through a huge, and my ear's about to start ringing right now, went through a huge ego death, what we call it ego death. Twin flame dynamic was with that. It had to go. It had to go because it wasn't real. I was holding on to a concept that sounded good, that people told me was real, that I thought maybe was real. But when I kept putting all the pieces, information, I was like, Spirit never told me he is in the twin flame. Wait a minute. I never got that confirmation. I've seen how we're connected. I've seen where we've gone. I've seen that we've had other lives together. That doesn't mean anything, though. What does that really mean? So I had to sit with that and really start to think about that and go, all right, there's way more to this. Let me dig in. So you guys, yeah, somebody blocks you, leave them alone. Don't be chasing this person, please. It becomes to this place of, if y'all watch Snapped, all right, you don't want to be, leave people alone. No, they're not your person. This person blocked you. They told you leave them alone. They told you get out their life. That is not a cue for keep bothering me, keep coming back, and keep begging me to be in your life. This is what reason why I got tired of it and why I backed away from readings and backed away from lives, because I was like, the community, which used to be sacred, it used to be a sacred community, especially when it comes to occult. So there was a lot. If you look at a lot of like people talk about the Masons, they talk about, you know, gypsies, and you talk about all these like hidden communities, alchemists, things like that, that they're secret. They're secret and they're not known, and only certain people, you have to go through initiations and stuff to learn the information, right? Then you got a lot of people just giving you tidbits of stuff, and people are running with it as if they have all this information. Spirit never gives us all the information. They give us breadcrumbs. They give us breadcrumbs so that we can go find the real answers, okay? But this is what got me so tired of it, because I was just like, there's way too many people that are in abusive, horrible connections. They're not even connections. This person doesn't want you. They show you. They show you they don't want you. But you're brainwashed to think, oh, they just need to heal and they'll want me. Oh, they just need to heal and they'll be back. Maybe they'll say I'm a good person. Maybe they'll say I'm their twin flame. Get the fuck out of here. This is the last one I'm going to read, and then I'm going to show you guys the egg theory. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, so hopefully just bear with me. If you're someone who's still in religious and church, you're probably not going to like any of this, and you're going to think I'm crazy, which is okay. You think what you want. But for those of you who are in spirituality, who have heard this, maybe you've never heard of it, and maybe this is just a warning for you to get ready so before it becomes a thing, okay? I remember I had this, I'll never forget, I had this client, she booked me for a twin flame reading. And when I was doing the reading, her energy was good, everything was coming out beautiful, and she wanted to know if she had a twin flame. And she had someone in her life that came out, wasn't twin flame, but it was a beautiful energy. And she was like, yeah, she's in a relationship, the guy's good, blah, blah, everything. And I asked her, I said, if everything is good with this person, they love you, they treat you well, why are you looking for a twin flame? And she was like, well, that's what people say. People say you have a twin flame, and if you're spiritual, you have a counterpart, and you guys are supposed to work together, and you're supposed to do this. And so there's this brainwashing that you and this twin flame are going to come together, and then you guys are going to go on your purpose together. But that's not reality. That's not real. No. Some people come together and they have the same purpose and they work the same things. That has nothing to do with about being a twin. So I told her, I was like, again, he's loving? Yes. He treats you good? Yes. He wants to be with you? Yes. Then be with him. Stop worrying about a twin flame. You don't need a twin flame to do your spiritual stuff. You don't need a twin flame to become whoever you want to become in the spiritual world. You don't need a twin flame to advance to the next level. Again, you're putting your worth on someone else. Well, I can't advance until he gets his shit together or she gets her shit together. The hell? No. Love the people that are in front of you. Love the people that are in front of you. They're in front of you. They're loving you now. In the present. In the present moment is everything. Fuck the past. You're not going to get to the future without dealing with right now. And the people in front of you loving you this moment, it's what is true and real. Everything else is bullshit. Anywho, so here's this person. They say, so apparently my twin flame has a girlfriend. And this is how it all, I swear to you guys, out of how many years have I been doing this shit now? 4? 5 years? 5 years I've been doing this shit. This is constantly the fucking thing. The twin flame has a girlfriend. And it's more women, sadly, than men who ask this question, of course, because women get pulled into spirituality way faster. Why? We believe shit way more than men. Men are skeptics. We need to be skeptics too. We need to ask questions. Common sense questions will say, something's off about this, but we want it to be true. Why? We're looking to be special. One of the other truths that I'm admitting to you guys is what I realized is that the twin flame cult groups and this bond with all these people that are twin flame and we're all going through this together was and is another place of trying to find where you belong. You're trying to find where you belong because you don't belong anywhere. And if you find this person that is supposed to be your mirror image, they're going to understand you because you don't belong nowhere. They're going to understand you. So again, you're trying to find spaces and places that don't exist when you got to go within you. Go within you and you're going to find the truth, the real truth. Okay? All right, so apparently my twin flame has a girlfriend. They've been together for over a year and she looks very similar to me. Let me tell you, anytime that you don't learn a lesson, they will all resemble them. Even if they don't look alike, they will resemble mannerisms. They will resemble the way they speak. They could even be the same zodiac sign because you did not learn a specific lesson. And when we read this, not one person has talked about their purpose in life. Not one of these people have talked about their what have they done to heal? They just said the healing. What have you done to heal? What did you heal? What type of traumas did you have to go through? Because I can tell you, my shit was deep as fuck. And I still am not healed. So if you did 1 or 2 shadow work classes, you think you're fucking healed? It don't work like that. You have to become self-aware, which is very hard to get out of your own way and become self-aware of your own bullshit and admit when you're wrong. So yeah, you're still looking for a place to belong. Anyway, so yeah, they're going to look alike. They're going to resemble because that lesson will keep coming. And the reason the other people resemble you, right? The reason those people resemble her is because he still needs to learn a lesson that he didn't learn. Has nothing to do with you. You think he does because you think he look like you, but he doesn't. All right, her hair is the same as mine, her skin, her eyes. He is calling her my precious. And she puts that in capital words. That's his precious. I don't know why I'm getting sneezed. My precious. Okay. How romantic. So you can see here that this person is mad. They're mad that this person left and got another person. And again, some of y'all just need to take your L, take your loss, take your rejection, and deal with it, sit with it, and move on. You know, one of the other things that in this path, spirituality, is to get used to rejection. Rejection, life doesn't come without rejection. There will always be rejection. You're not going to be in this life and get everything that you fucking want, the way that you want it, how you want it, served on a fucking platter. Rejection is real. Live it, understand it, accept it, and move the fuck on. You know, I've done so many of these podcasts and stories of people who end up murdering people. They take their lives. I did one on a woman who the guy was divorcing her, moving on. She unalived her toddler and herself. And before she did it, she had the toddler record a message on the phone saying, "Bye, Daddy." We have got to be better with rejection. Just because someone doesn't want you anymore doesn't make them a piece of shit. Just means that they're not into you no more. Allow that person to go. Allow that person to leave. You go find real love. There's 8 billion fucking people in this world. There's got to be at least one more soulmate for you. Okay? All right. She says, or he, I don't know, it's anonymous. Oh no, it's got it. No, we don't know. But he had many girls around him in the past. They were all trying to flirt with him. It's why I left, to be honest. He liked playing around a lot. But this is your divine masculine sent to you from God. Since he wasn't serious, it triggered me and I left him, which threw me into a dark night of the soul. You guys be talking about like these regular relationships and someone doesn't want you. So, you know, the dark night of the soul has nothing to do with you. I love when people talk about this because I'm like, you probably have not been through a dark night of the soul because it has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with anybody else but you. No one else could pull you into that dark night of the soul but yourself. And that's how I know a lot of you are not sitting with yourself. You're not really sitting with yourself. All right. Anywho, when he acted like he couldn't care less. So because he didn't care, you went through a dark night of the soul. It doesn't work like that. And again, his actions are now making you react. That's not how it goes. That's not enlightenment. That's not higher vibrational. Because higher vibrational people don't react. They sit, process, and see, is this something that is necessary? This is how you know you're not being taught right in spirituality. No one is really teaching you or showing you what you're supposed to really know. And I can vouch for that because I was lost in spirituality when I first got in. I was trying to get the information, and there were times where I thought I had the information and I thought I knew the information, but I didn't. And then Spirit kept slapping me like, sit your ass down, you don't know shit. And I would get this reality check like, damn, I thought I was up to something. Then it would be another one. As soon as I think that level I'm good and I know some shit, you don't know shit, sit back down. And then finally in 2022, it was like, the fuck? I questioned everything. I got to the point where I was pissed off at angels. I was pissed off at everybody. I was pissed off at everyone. Everyone you could think of. I was just like, fuck it all. I don't want shit to do with this stuff anymore. I was like, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. And I was in this moment of just, what do I even believe anymore? Do I even believe in this shit? Is it even real? And I've had some beautiful experiences, but in that moment, I was just done with it all because I was just like, there's so much lies and truth and lies and truth and lies and truth. And there's so much manipulation, and you just get frustrated. Like, where can I find the truth? You know where? Inside. Sitting with myself, getting in past life regressions and talking to my higher self, hearing my higher self tell me stuff, looking at my past lives and seeing how similar some of those lives are to this life. But dealing with myself, not anybody else, not a twin, not a nothing, myself. And that's one of the biggest things that we forget. This whole path is for us to come into contact with ourselves, which then we reconnect back with source energy. And that the messages flowing straight from source energy are pure and loving. Okay? All right. So also, I have a boyfriend now. You have a boyfriend. You're still thinking about this person. This is the bullshit. This is the bullshit. Again, I've seen people fuck up marriages, and I mean horribly fuck up marriages because of this twin flame shit. And then they stop seeing what's right in front of them, which is their loving family, the kids they've decided to bring into this world because they want to go chase this dream, this twin flame thing. And it's rough. It is rough. I've seen people like really going through it with this. And it's there are lessons within this. Every one of these situations has a big lesson that the person just needs to learn. This person is looking over there about this so-called twin flame who treated her like shit anyway, was messing with other girls when he was messing with her. You're with someone now, yet you're still watching this person's social media and obsessed about them. You don't see what's right in front of you. Boy. All right. Then she said her twin flame contacted her from a different profile and said, I love you. Again, I want to tell you guys, and I'm going to do one on emotional manipulation, okay? And then I'll probably just title it manipulation, and we'll go through the many ways people can manipulate you. Some people are emotional manipulators. The person that I felt was my twin flame, they knew how to manipulate me. It would be on an emotional level. They would trigger me on an emotional level. And I would not even realize that I would allow it to suck me in. And it would always be something like I was abandoning him. And I would be like, oh, me abandoning you? Like, what the hell? I'm not abandoning you, I'm not abandoning you. And it was always this tactic Because as soon as he would say that, I would jump and not dummy you, blah, 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 and going through all the emotions. So I didn't realize, again, that was the trigger in my mirror of my own abandonment. When you sit with it and you realize it, you're like, oh, shit. But I had to go through these things to understand that they were still things I needed to heal. I had to learn that this is what it meant when you're going back to lessons. Not that he was a karmic, and I'm not going to deem him a karmic. We had a very special connection. He was meant to show me things. He was meant to push me in a way that would make me stop and challenge what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking. And so for that, I'm going to always be thankful for him. But I would never want to go back. I'm not going to go find him. I'm not going to search for him. I'm not going to, I even unfriended him on social media, so not going to watch his profiles. You have to detach from people because, again, you got to realize what was the purpose of them. And it's not this fairy tale that you're going to run off into the sunset, okay? And this person is, and this is what, again, these are reasons why I decided to go to school for psychology. So in 2022, this is how it got me to where I'm at, where I decided I'm going to go. I got certified to do the hypnosis regressions, and then I started going to school for my psychology degree. And these are the reasons why, because you start to see that this person is having a mental issue. This is all mental. This is all mental. This is not spiritual. Spiritual, you are going to get the information and the lessons, but mentally, you got to process it. Mentally, you got to figure this shit out. I see 2323 now, whatever that means. And, some people overly saturate the synchronicities and coincide them with the twin flame dynamic. And again, you got to sit. If you get something which you think is a synchronicity, sit with it. Sit with yourself. And bring your higher self in and ask, what does this mean? What comes up? You're going to get the answers. All right. It's the second time he's done that and run away again. Should I even take it seriously? His I love you. I cannot just quit my relationship for him because I know it's not the right time. It's never going to be the right time. This person will always come and go, come and go, come and go. And my current boyfriend, I do love him. He's helped me heal a little bit. Now I feel like my twin flame has changed. He seems kind of angry and is acting very weird, like he's mad at me. Whenever I stumble upon him, he's acting hella weird, cold. I don't understand. He's definitely hiding something. No, he doesn't want to be with you. You guys in this twin flame stuff is like, again, I'm not even going to read no more of those. I'll keep saying the same stuff and going through. There is nobody here. And again, I'm not going to speak like I'm a fucking, like I know this for sure, because again, these are theories. The twin flame dynamic is a theory. Those of you who want to believe in it all you want to. But I know how damaging it can be, because not that I wasted years, but I did allow someone to come back in my life too many times with this whole twin flame ideology, where some way in me thought, well, once we heal, we're going to get to this place where we'll be okay. And again, that's all false. It's nothing to do with them. Your healing journey, your spiritual journey, those are all personal. You as one, your connection with source. Now, if you guys want to talk more about twin flames, we can. I'm already at an hour. I don't want to have this too long. But I do want to show you the egg theory real quick and talk a little bit about that before I wrap this episode up. And again, this is why what really, really pushed me to let go of the twin flame ideology and theory and look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is not us as these individual people living our individual lives with our twin flames and being happily ever after in the white picket fence. It's about finding ourselves and finding a way to give back to humanity, because we know how much we're connected together, to each other. So But go do your own research, you guys. Really look it up. There's even a show on Netflix. There's even a show on Netflix that is showing these people who got sucked into a cult, and they again were preaching the whole twin flame thing, and they were taking so much money out of these people and forcing them to be with people that they didn't want to be with, and telling them that that's their twin, and they're just telling them, well, if your twin hasn't come back, you're just not healing. You're just not doing it right. You're just not putting in the effort. You're just not this. You're just not that. And again, you know how fucking damaging it is to sit and go, I'm putting in all this effort. I'm fucking doing shadow work. I'm doing past life regressions. I'm doing meditative state healing. Shit. I'm going to go do ayahuasca. I'm doing all this shit to heal. And it's like, no, your twin flame is not here. You're not doing enough. It makes you feel like shit. You're like, how much more do I need to heal? And I remember asking that question in 2021. It was like, how much more healing do I need to do? And it was just like, this shit don't make sense to me. There's something wrong with this. It doesn't make sense. It's not making sense because it's not going to make sense because you're not healing for that person for you two to come together. Let me tell you, when you heal, you're not going to want that person in your life because the way that they treated you, the way they dismissed your feelings, the way they dismissed you, the way that they blocked you, the way that they went cold on you, the way that they treated you, you would be like, I deserve better. And I'm not ever going back to that space. When you truly, truly heal, you don't want to be in that space. You will want people to come who want to be there. And you allow the universe to take away the people who don't. There's this one meme that goes around and says, that God will push a person to hurt you because you wouldn't let them go. So they had to really betray you for you to let them go. And to an extent, of course, I don't believe in God. I do believe God's source energy. And I do believe that people will end up hurting us and betraying us because we need to let them go. And that's really, it's going to go there because that's where the person was going anyway. Like they were already betraying us. They were already doing what they were doing. So it was just going to get worse and worse and worse because we keep allowing this person to come back in. Someone who betrays you the first time, all right, that's on them. But once they do it again and again and again and again, and you keep letting this person back in your life, that's on you. And you can call this person a twin flame all you want to. Oh, karmic and this, that, and the third. It just makes you desperate in your low vibration, accepting less than what you deserve. But if you feel you deserve that treatment, if you feel that's what you deserve, and that's the type of love you want in your life, then hey, so be it. Stay tuned to your twin flame dynamic. But the eighth area, we're going to watch it, and then I will discuss. I want you guys to hear what they say, and then we'll talk about it.
You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. It was a painless death. The medics tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off, trust me. And that's when you met me. What happened? Where am I? You died, I said, matter-of-factly. No point in mincing words. There was a truck, and it was skidding. Yes. I died. Yes. But don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies. You looked around. There was nothingness. Just you and me. What is this place? Is this the afterlife? More or less. Are you God? Yes, I'm God. My kids? My wife? What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God.
I just have to pause these because I'm doing the copyrights on them. I'll get the copyright, but I just wanted to, despite what you believe in, if you believe in heaven or hell, I'm not going to take that from you, nor do I ever want to convert anyone. I don't believe in heaven or hell. I've done past life regressions. I believe in what I've seen going through lives and seeing the in between those lives. And I've gone through some places that this person talks about in the egg theory, and I've been to the nothingness. I've also been to a place of energy, source energy, because we're energy beings. We're not just flesh and bones. And so very beautiful to be in these spaces and kind of see the concept of God. Okay, that's the other thing, the concept of God.
Look like God. I just look like some man, or possibly a woman. Some vague authority figure, maybe. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contemptuous of you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but will be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, so what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither. You'll be reincarnated. Ah. So the Hindus were right. All religions are right in their own way. Walk with me. You followed along as we strode through the vault.
And this is why we all should respect other people's belief systems, because they have their truths. They really do. They all have their truths. And we all are going to end up understanding it on the other side. So there's no need to condemn anyone for believing. That's why I say, like, you guys who believe in Christianity or whatever it is that you believe in, that's fine, believe in it. But just understand to be receptive of other people's belief systems and also be respectful of that, right? I'm not wondering around cussing anybody out or, sitting there trying to picket outside churches, but you just all of it together. And then when you see that, you're like, man, we're all connected still. We're still all connected, even with the different religions, even with the differences in ethnic groups, even with the differences of skin color. We were all connected.
Where are we going? Nowhere in particular. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So, what's the point then? When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby. So, all my experiences and everything I did in this life won't matter. Not so. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experiences it had. You've been in a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you'd start remembering everything. But there's no point to doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots. Lots and lots. And into lots of different lives. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically, time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where you come from?
That's the part about lives. So maybe I'll do a podcast on this one and we'll talk a little bit more about it, because when we talk about past life, it's not really past. We think it's past, but it's all happening because time doesn't exist outside of where we are. So all of these things are kind of happening at the same time. And this is where karmic energy flows into this life. And sometimes we have to kind of cut and close those doors because it's not supposed to seep in. Sometimes you're playing out something that's very similar to another life, but you're not supposed to be living that life in here. So again, it's a little bit tricky when we're doing the past life regressions of understanding that. But yeah, maybe we'll do another past life. And then another thing I came across in doing the regressions was about spirit guides, that they are our past lives. Those are the people we've been. That's why, because one of the questions I had, maybe we'll talk about this on another one, was why or who would have the best information on who we've been and what we've been, except for ourselves, right? And I needed to understand that a little bit more, because everyone will sit with these spirit guides and they'll go, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like these are separate people from me around me. I don't feel that they are separate individuals unless I'm feeling angels or maybe ancestors in a certain way. But I'm going, I feel this differently. So again, we'll talk about that too. But from my understanding, and a lot of people probably won't agree with that, but from what I have uncovered is our spirit guides are our past life people. So pay attention to who's popping up as your spirit guide with their knowledge and their care for you. You're going to see that it's a little bit more than what you think.
Oh, sure. I come from somewhere else, and there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening. So, what's the point of it all? I looked you in the eye.
And this is why we have these soul recollections, or we feel like we know the person. They feel like home. Get it? Because they are. In so many ways, they are. They are us, we are them, we are all intertwined. We are all playing our part in different pieces, but we are all connected. And so when you get people that are flowing through that you have this kind of zap towards, you're like, why do I feel like I know you? You do. In so many words, you do.
Meaning of life. The reason I made this whole universe is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect.
Now, I just want to tell you guys on a science side, this part right here about the expansion of the universe is actually something that they talk about in astronomy. Last semester, we talked about this in astronomy, where this universe has just been expanding and it keeps expanding. And when you look at how long this universe, right, because we can only talk about this universe, we can't talk about other universes out there. This one is expanding and growing and expanding, and that consciousness and knowledge is what does it. It coincides with the information. So whether you want to believe this or not, that's up to you. But it coincides with a lot of the information that I have pulled, a lot of the information, even sitting in class going, whoa, this is science talking about this shit. And it's coincide with the messages in spirituality. So when we're looking at this, and they're going to keep talking about it, we can go look this up and kind of replay it. But yeah, it's like this is why we're so interconnected. All of us are connected. So it matters if we fail, or I don't want to say fail because I don't want to put that in there like we're failing, but it matters when someone's doing bad. So when you see someone doing bad and you choose not to help them, you're choosing not to help yourself. Now, I'm not saying that if you can't really help, still help and harm yourself or give your last. But what I am saying is this is why to stop and not react in situations, because again, you are looking at someone who's connected to you on some level, whether you want to believe it or not.
Just me? what about everyone else? There is no one else. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone. Now you're getting it. I'm every human being who ever lived. Or who will ever live. Yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln. And you're John Wilkes Booth too. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled. And you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus. And you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimized someone, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was or will be experienced by you. You thought for a long time. Why? Why do all this? Because someday you will become like me, because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Wow, you said, incredulous. You mean I'm a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So the whole universe, it's just an egg, I answered. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life. And I sent you on your way.
So that's the egg theory. I think it's neat. When I did come across it, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is a lot of what I've come across and believe in, and it's summed up into like one space that I would never be able to tell it like that. So again, this is not to convert anyone or tell you what to believe. Again, this is everything's theory. Whether you believe in Christianity or you want to believe in Hinduism, it's all theory based on what someone has prophesized or meditated and retrieved from. But we are all interpreting messages, even myself. So we can get it wrong. We can interpret it, and I don't want to say wrong, but we can interpret it in a way that maybe wasn't intended. And it's okay to be wrong and be like, you know what, maybe this wasn't it, and I need to switch. So again, I believe we're all connected in that way, and so it's made me realize if that's, if you look at it and we are all connected in that way, then there will be really no such thing as a twin flame dynamic, because then you're taking away your connection from everyone else. You're just saying that there's only this one person out of all the billions of people that are here, and we're only connected to this person, this one person, and everybody else doesn't matter. Do you see how it sounds? So get out of that, step out of that, and realize, because we have to come together, because it's for all of us to elevate. When we talk about elevation, it's for all of us as one. We're not doing this for individual lives. Not really. We're all connected. So every one of us, you know why? Because one bit of me could not experience everything in a lifetime, or in multiple lifetimes, because I've lived multiple lifetimes and I still haven't experienced everything. So again, that's a little bit of the theories that have changed my mind and have changed how I see things and how I look at things. And again, I don't really believe in the twin flame dynamic anymore. I do believe that you will have people that will come in and they will mirror some truth within you, but everybody is mirroring those truths. It's not just one person. That one person may have it more intensified. They might intensify it, and unfortunately, that's just that. And the more you try to force it, the worse it gets. So if you keep trying to force things with people that don't want you in that space, again, you're not learning what you're supposed to be learning, and you're going to be creating more havoc in your life. Remember, life doesn't need to always be so harsh and forced. We actually make it that way. Every moment you have the ability to make a choice to make your life easier, choose not to go down the routes that cause chaos. You know, at the end of the day, yes, you'll learn something out of it all, because I've learned out of every situation. Again, I wouldn't go back and change anything, no matter how harsh, no matter if I was wrong in a situation, or like, damn, did I do the right thing in that situation? I wouldn't go back and change any of it, because I wouldn't be who I am today. So because of everything that I've gone through, I am who I am today. I'm able to be appreciative. I'm able to see love, receive love, you know, that's right in front of me. I'm seeing who's right in front of me, and not the dream state of who could be or who would be, or this person that's, you know, not contacting me and we ain't talking, but I still feel them. You're going to always feel people that are close to you, people that are connected to you, but your mind will stop bringing that thought in when you're done. When you're truly done with whatever lessons that's connected to that person, they won't be a factor anymore. They won't come in. And a lot of times I used to ask this question of, why are they still on my mind? Why do I still have dreams with this person? Why do they still come in if we're, even if we're not supposed to be? The other part about that is because you have not let go of something, whether you need to forgive yourself, because normally we have this shame, like, man, I knew it. You have it. You knew to the core of you, you knew, but you still hung on to this person. That's your twin flame. You're going to hang on to this person. So there's these parts within you that you sit and go, you have shame, you have guilt that you need to work through. This is why the person's coming back up. They're not coming back up because you need to see them again. They're not coming back up because you need to call them. They're not coming back because they're pulling you in. They're coming back up because you need to come to terms with some things. And those things are most likely with self, and letting go, really letting go, okay? Life isn't all mapped out. There are people that we're destined to meet, because I do believe in that, but everything is not signed and delivered. There's so many ways to create new. And in your life, every day, every opportunity is another one to create and see something new. So get out of your own way. Get away from this twin flame shit. Start telling people to get away from it. It is a cult. It's from a cult. You guys are practicing cult-like stuff. And it's just like when I, tapped into rituals, which rituals is something that comes from my heritage, it comes from my culture, but I've stopped doing that for clients. I've stopped for so many reasons, because there's underlining things that attach to that. There are consequences to everything that we do. And I've never done any of it I won't say never, no, because I've done return to sender, which is just as bad. Return to sender is revenge. That's a whole nother podcast. But everything that you do, there's a consequence to it. And I'm very mindful of everything that I do in my life, because, again, I want to spread love. I want to spread motivation. I want to spread healing. And I want to be the light in the world, not the darkness, not the chaos. And so when you become intentional about what you're doing, you're not going to go in certain places that don't feel right anymore. It feels like, what, I commend anyone who's practicing. I have respect for anyone who practices the stuff. But there's so much that I wouldn't want to be them. I wouldn't want to have to deal with whatever they have to deal with at the end of it. So that's my take on Twin Flames. Yes, you guys, yes. For those of you who know me, you'll be like, what the fuck? Drop a comment. Yes, I have changed a lot on what I feel, and this past 2 years has been phenomenal of learning, of growing, especially with the past life, the quantum healing sector, and really sitting with spirit and kind of uncovering some truths for myself. So, I send you guys so much love with it, and I hope that you understand what you're supposed to be doing, because your purpose, your essence, your life is more important than any other person that you think is this twin flame that's going to change your life. You are going to change your life. You are going to heal. You are going to move. You're going to grow. You're going to do something. But most of you guys don't have twin flames. Most of you guys, it's not what you think it is. I'm going to say all of you don't, but again, I can't prove it that it doesn't exist. What I can tell you is I don't believe it. We have a lot of people we're connected to, and a lot of you guys are diminishing beautiful connections to justify someone that you're lusting over, someone that you're obsessed with, someone that you just have to have. And most of it, you're chasing someone who's rejecting you. So if you're chasing someone who's rejecting you, what does that say about you? So what is it that you still need to heal? Think about it. All right, you guys, until next time, drop me a comment, like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And tell me how you guys are loving this season. I am, man, I've had fun with this season. I've had fun with all our guests. Hopefully you guys check them out. And if you haven't seen the other seasons, go check out the other seasons and drop me some comments and get this podcast out there. All right, y'all. Bye.